Hey, good morning, guys. Sean Bougie here, SurplusFundsRiches.com. Go on the right side of that if you would. Put in your name and email. Download the Insider's Guide. That's got almost all our programs on there. Also, there's a link on that page, SurplusFundsRiches.com. There's a link on that page. And, after you download that, the Insider's Guide, give me a call if you have any questions, pre-purchase questions, not after you bought. Pre-purchase questions at 704-791-9398. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 704-791-9398. Also on that page, SurplusFundsRiches.com. There's a link to our Facebook page. Click on that, like and follow that, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll be kept up to speed on all the changes, anything we come out with, and know more quicker than anybody else when we have sales or any kind of product launches. All right, today we're going to have a little bit of fun. One of the things that we used to get into a lot in our webinars was people wanted to hear the stories, and we love telling the stories primarily because it's a way for us to teach while being entertaining, right? And these are true stories. They really happened. I wish, in most cases, I wish they hadn't. So I had a house in Orange Orange County? Anyway, it's northern Florida. Actually, it was Orange Street in Escambia. I think I still have that house. I couldn't get rid of it. Had that house and had a sign put in with my number on it, and also listed it. There's very little going on in that particular part of the county. It's a rough area. It was a gamble. I ended up buying that house along with 2 or 3 others from a woman. All of them were going in a tax sale at the same time in different counties, and ended up buying, I think it was 3 or 4 total houses, and selling 3 of them for a great profit. And this one I've just been stuck with. I'm probably going to let taxes just take the thing. Hope that somebody overbids on it and maybe make a little bit on a surplus deal. But let me tell you about this house. When they left, apparently the people that were in there last with this woman, they were renting from her. When they left, they ripped all the copper out of the walls. I mean, this thing was a shell. Good lot. I mean, good size lot, but just everything was crap. Like 8 sheds on it, all of them falling apart. Next to the neighbors, whose everything they had was falling apart. Access was through a dirt road on the back. I mean, it was just ridiculous how bad this place was. I shouldn't have included that, but I made such a good deal on the total package with all the houses. I took the risk. Well, I had a sign put in, and I had flat fee listing on it. I wasn't getting any action. And I get a call from a realtor who says, hey, I understand that you might be willing to take a note on this. Take $5,000 down and sell it for 30, and my guys can fix it up, and give them a $25,000 loan for cheap or whatever. And I said, yeah, I'd consider that. If nothing else, it covers the cost of taxes while I'm waiting to sell it. If they buy it, that's great. Meanwhile, I got the $5,000 down. Hey, I'm happy with that. Let's do that. As long as they can close it, let's say a year and a half. She said, okay. I said, but look, it is trash. They're not going to want this house. If you're looking at end buyers, unless it's a serious carpenter who absolutely loves that lot, they're not going to buy the house. I was just upfront with her. This is more of an investor buy here. And she goes, well, we'll take a look. She calls back. She says, oh man, you're right. It's way too rough for my people. I said, yeah. I said, by the way, it's been bugging me. Where'd you hear that I would take back a note? I said, I didn't put that in any of the ads or anything like that. What's that about? She said, well, it was on the sign out front. I said, sign out front? Sign out front is supposed to say Sean Bougie, great or good company, 704, and my cell phone. And she says, no. It said to call Rod, and it was an 800 number, and it said $5,000 down, we tote the note, something like that. She said, in fact, I called this guy. She said, first I was trying to, you had it listed flat fee, and And I was trying to look up the information, and I saw your company name, and then I actually tracked you down. And I thought you were the agent and then the owner. Anyway, she said, but before I did that, we were actually driving out there. This is after we drove by it. And when we drove by it, we saw the sign and we called the number. And I didn't like the way the guy acted. I said, all right. Well, how'd the guy act? Well, he had a really thick accent. He was really pushing to sell it. And I said, and he said he owned it. She said, yeah. I said, okay. What's the phone number? So I called the phone number. And the guy picks up. Hello? And I said, hey, I'm calling about that house on Orange Street. And he says, yes, very good house. I said, okay. I understand I could put $5,000 down and then tote the rest. What would you want? And he goes, another 25,000. I'm not making fun of anybody, guys. It's the way he talked. Another 25,000. Good house, good house. I was like, okay. He said, do you own this house? Yes. I said, okay. Well, I pulled the deed up, and it says Greater Good Company. Oh, yes, this is my company. I said, okay, well, what was your name? And he whatever, you know. I said, okay. I said, well, the signature on it, the signature on there, on all the documentation, was from, and the name that's listed as the person in charge of the company is Sean Bougie. Yes, this is my partner. Really? I said, sir, this is Sean Bougie. I must go. Click. I said, all right. I said, man, maybe I should report this. Called the cops. Cops said, yeah, we've had a couple reports of this. He said, trust me, that's a Google number or some kind of weird number, and it's already disconnected. But, well, I'll take the report. I said, okay. I literally called back 5 minutes later, and it was not in service, the number. So quite a little scam the guy had going. I've never seen anything like that before. I guess he was going to take $5,000 and just say, see you later. And another one, I had a really rough mobile home. Really rough mobile home. I didn't care. Left it on the lot. The value of the lot was there. It was a mobile home. Somebody could get rid of it pretty easily. Left it on. I should have taken it off, but I left it on. Listed it with an agent, and we couldn't get anywhere. Couldn't get any traction. And I wasn't getting any feedback. And, you know, a lot of my stuff is lower dollar, and I get it. But, you know, if an agent takes care of me in an area that I'm not familiar with, I'll send him a bunch of business. If you know, it'll add up over time. And I do tend to give, you know, higher commissions if it's a low dollar property, right? I want to make sure everybody can make enough money where they're willing to at least show the house, you know. Anyway, didn't get any feedback though. Got no communication from this agent, and listing came up. I said, I'm just going to try somebody else. Nothing personal, you know. I tried a different agent, and I said, let me know what's going on. What do I need to do? Well, okay, she says, I'll get up with you the next day or two. And I get this text, and it's a picture of a vacant lot. And I didn't recognize the number at first, you know. So I called the number and I said, hi, this is Sean Bougie. What is this? And she goes, well, that's your lot. This is, you know, told me her name. And I said, no, I have a mobile home on my lot. She goes, not anymore. I said, oh, okay. So, well, let's put it on the market anyway. And I called the cops. Well, and the police said, hey, call DMV, let them know what's going on. If you've got the number to the mobile home, if somebody tries to check it into another park, we can bust the guy because they'll record the VIN number on that. I said, okay. He goes, but Mr. Bougie, let me clue you into something. You're never going to see that mobile home again. He said, what they're doing here in Florida is they're taking the mobile homes and they're selling them in Mexico. I said, what? That doesn't make any sense. He goes, no, seriously, it's a lucrative deal, and they don't care what shape it's in because down there they can still sell it for a profit. I said, okay. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, and I don't remember the guy's actual name, but I get this call. "Is this Mr. Buigi?" I said, "Yes, sir. It's Mr. Buigi." Whatever. "This is Deputy Sheriff Hammond." "Hey, Deputy Sheriff, how can I help you out today?" And he says, "We have your home here, Harris County, Texas." I said, "Really?" And he says, "Yeah, they were driving it down the highway. Pieces of it were falling off. And anyway, we've impounded the home." I said, "Okay." I said, "Am I in trouble?" He said, "No." He said, I would imagine you got that stolen from you." I said, "Yes, sir, that's exactly what happened." And he says, "Well, it's an impound. You don't have to pay anything. We arrested the guys because it was public safety or whatever. And, you don't even have to press charges. We know it's stolen. We called DMV in Florida and it was reported there and with the cops. So don't worry about it. We'll take care of this." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Well, come get your house." I said, "Man, it's not worth what it would cost me to come and get it. So can I just deed this to you guys? Can I give you guys title to this mobile home?" He goes, "That'd be great. We could probably make $300 selling this at auction." So sure enough, I just deeded it to him, and he took it, and everything was good. The next thing I want to tell you guys about, I'm really proud of. We had some debt, so a judgment. I was trying to buy this is when we first started. Really, I was trying to get this judgment because I was working with the owner. There was like a $20,000 judgment, $50,000. I'm going by memory. Maybe 50 grand and over. It was still going to leave 30 grand for the owner, but I didn't want to leave that 20 grand there. And I couldn't figure out who had the judgment, but I finally got a call back from the attorney that was on the motion to get the judgment, who said, "Hey, they sold that judgment. And it was to this large company that buys bad debt like crazy. And here's the phone number direct and da-da-da. They're the guys you need to talk to." Well, that was great. The attorney didn't need to do that. He had no reason to call me back. He had done his stuff. Every once in a while you run into a good one, right? I got good friends that are attorneys. But anyway, I said, "All right, great." So I called the company up, and it took them like a week to get back to me because they bundle this stuff together, right? And it was like, it was like 20 grand. I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "I'd like to buy it, And she says, "Well, it's bundled with these other, you can't just buy it by itself. We'll sell it with these other judgments." I said, "Well, what's the total amount?" I kid you not. I said, "What's the total amount of the judgments?" She said, "This is grade whatever paper." I don't even remember what she said. Apparently really trashy paper and really trashy debt. They didn't expect to get anything back. She goes, "But it's just shy of $1 million worth of debt." $1 million. I said, "I don't think we're going to come to terms." She says, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm not willing to spend more than $2,500. And she kind of laughed, and I thought, yeah, they're going to want 20 grand or something. She goes, "Mr. Bucci, for this type of debt and that large of a bundled debt, we would have to have a minimum of $5,000 for $1 million in debt." "Really?" "I think I might be able to do that." So I bought it. Well, they sent me all this debt. They broke it out for me. And it was basically, I had to go record it, but it was basically assignments, all these different debts. And it was all in North Carolina, which was cool. So apparently they keep it regional. At least they did in this time. A lot of them were mortgages, equity lines, judgments, large judgments like this. So I was able to collect the other 20 grand on the judgment because it was assigned to me. I went and collected it under my own company name, that portion of it. Well, my buddy at the time, Troy, said, "Sean, what do you want to do with the rest of this debt? You could call the owner and say, 'Hey, I got $100,000 mortgage here. If you give me $2,000, I'll erase it, make some money. And I said, you know what? And this was right before, this was early 2000s. This was right before Christmas. It was like September, October. So not right before, but still a couple months out. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play that game. I got something else in mind. So I recorded cancellations on every one of the debt. Every one of the debts. Recorded them in the courthouse. Canceled all of them out. Because I had the power to do that. It was mine. Right? First of all, I recorded the assignment so that I could do that. And then I canceled it. So it cost me money, guys. I mean, it was about... $50 loans. It might have cost me a couple thousand, $2,500 to do this, something like that, $3,000, just to record all this stuff. But then I send out a mailing to the last known address. I didn't get everybody, of the person that the debt was against, and I waited to do that until I think it was right after Thanksgiving, and I put a letter together and I put it in with Christmas cards and sent it out to all these people. And I said, hey, I needed to buy some debt. Your debt was bundled in there. I decided to cancel it. Merry Christmas. And I kid you not, for a solid week, I got calls. Is this for real? Yes. God bless you. This is so amazing. And that's it's in the courthouse. If you call the courthouse, you can get where they've canceled it and get that to the credit agencies. I didn't just cancel it. I paid in full. Okay? So that's going to help you a little bit. Go ahead and get in touch with them and see if that'll help you. Of course, 9 times out of 10, people probably didn't do it. But I felt like $1 million. I felt like Santa Claus, That was a great experience. Okay, we've got some more of them. I picked up a little condo in West Palm. This is back when you could buy a dated 1970s 1-bedroom condo, 2 rows back or a row back from the beach, in an okay community, maybe a little run down, but you could pick one of those up for around $15,000. And that's what I did. I picked it up. Well, that's not what I did. I picked it up for taxes plus another $3,000. I mean, I think I had a total of 6 into it. My plan was to flip it for 15. What I should have done is held on to that daggone thing. It's worth probably about 50 now. Probably should have hung on to it, fixed it up a little bit, and rented it. But anyway, I didn't. So I picked it up, and I was having a hard time selling it. I was surprised. I was like, God almighty, man, I got the thing listed for like $17,500 going for $15,000. How much cheaper do I have to go to sell this damn place? Anyway, I get a call at like 4 a.m. This Mr. Bougie? Yeah, this is Sean. Yeah, how can I help you? It's 4 a.m. By the way, guys, I now put Do Not Disturb on after a certain time of night. But I said, yeah, how can I help you? And he said, this is Detective whatever, Anderson, let's say. I said, okay. He said, well, I need to let you know you might be in some trouble. I said, really? How might I be in some trouble, Detective Anderson? And he says, well, the young man that you told him he could go into your condo, that young boy had a party in there. You said you could have a party in there. He had a party in there, and one of his buddies, they got drunk, and he put his arm through a window and really ripped up his arm. It was in bad shape. Cut the heck out of his arm on the glass. And I said, so this young man said that I let him get into the place. And he goes, yeah. I said, did he have a key? No. So I told him he could break into my condo? Well, yeah. Sir, did he know who I was? Did he know my name? No, we had to look it up on the deed. Well, at this point, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm just pissed that I'm getting this stupid call. So I said, And you call yourself a detective? Oh, yes, I do. And I've been... I said, whatever. I said, look, man, I didn't give anybody the okay to go into that condo. I didn't say they could break into my condo and have a party. I didn't say they could break in at all. I don't know who this kid is. I said, but you know what? I'm going to press charges. Have him give me a call. Okay. Kid's dad calls me. He said, listen, I understand you want to press charges. It's my son. He did one thing that was stupid. We live in the same condo complex. He got a bunch of his buddies together and broke in. They also ripped out the fan. You know, they tried to hang on to the fan because they were drunk, and they broke a window. And, you know, the one kid got a little messed up. But look, my kid's going off to college. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't press charges. And he said, no, I'll pay for fixing the window. I'll give you like $500 to fix the window and put a new fan in. And I said, that's not what I want. I said, this other kid got hurt bad, right? He goes, yeah. I said, I want you to sign. I'm going to have my attorney write it up. Sign something that if anything comes of that, you're taking, since your son is the one that broke in, you take full responsibility for anything that comes about as a result of that kid getting hurt. If there's a lawsuit, whatever, you are completely taking responsibility for that. And he said, well, I'm not willing to do that. And I said, all right, I'm pressing charges. Well, I don't think you should do that. It's my son. And I said, sir, you can sign this or I'm pressing charges. Not my problem your kid's not going to college. Not my problem. I am not going to take the risk that I'm going to get a couple $100,000 lawsuit because your kid broke into my $15,000 condo. Not going to happen. Anyway, he called me back the next day and said, fine. I got my attorney to write up a agreement that he was going to take full responsibility and liability for the other. And I didn't even take the money to fix the place up. I was like, that's all I care about. Fix it up, ended up selling it. But that's the kind of crap you guys run into, by the way. I've got a ton more stories, and I'll certainly go into those in some later videos. If you like this, you know, obviously subscribe to our channel. These are real stories, guys. Subscribe to our channel, and any comments would be great. Thanks.